This is part 2 of calculating life insurance premiums for Chapter 22. Assume Jed Watkins has a $150,000 whole life policy, then assume he quits paying premiums after 15 years. Determine his options. So in our book, we have 3 options. We have cash value. He could receive that. He could have a reduced paid up insurance, so that would mean that his amount of life insurance is going to be reduced for the rest of his life. And then he can also have extended term with that full $150,000 policy, but it's going to not last the rest of his life. So let's look at his options here. So option 1, he can take a cash value per $1,000. He is 35 years old in that example we looked at. So I'll just mark this in here. So if he is 35 years old and he quits paying premiums after 15 years, that means we come down here to this line. So we're going to look at cash value per $1,000. So if it's per 1,000, we have to take our our policy amount divided by $1,000, and we're going to multiply by 147. And our dollar amount there we would get is $22,050, and that would be his cash value option. Okay, let's look at his next option. He could get paid up insurance. So that means that he is going to have this policy for the rest of his life, but he's going to have less coverage. So per $1,000, he will be figuring at $370 instead. So this is also per 1,000, so we're going to divide first, and then multiply by 370, and this is the amount of coverage that he's going to have for the rest of his life, and this is $55,500. So instead of sitting at $150,000 coverage, if he was to die, he is now going to be covered for $55,500. And our third option, his extended term here. Okay, this is keeping $150,000. That whole coverage, he is going to have that for 20 years and 162 days. So no matter what his coverage was before, so if he had a $500,000 whole life policy, he would still be able to keep that whole policy for the same 20 years and 162 days. It just depends on how many years that he has had this policy enforced. And you can see that all three of these options, you would have to make that decision yourself, I suppose, if you canceled and you didn't want to pay on that monthly anymore. So these are the 3 options. You will be solving, I believe, all 3 of these problems on your homework today. Let me know if you have questions.